Well, now Andrew essentially becomes a private citizen. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. He'll no longer be living at Royal Lodge. We think that move from Royal Lodge will come in the next sort of days and weeks and months rather than years. It will be sooner rather than later. He's moving to the Sandringham estate, a private estate owned by the king, but of course it's still considered a royal estate and one where everybody gathers for Christmas. But essentially, Andrew now just becomes a private citizen. He remains the younger brother of the king, but he will not be pictured with the king, pictured with the heir to the throne, won't be seen at any royal events. He's essentially being cut out of the royal family. Virginia Giuffre alleged in her memoir Nobody's Girl, and actually before then as well, that she had three sexual encounters with Prince Andrew when she was under the age of 18. She also alleged that she was trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Andrew always denied the allegations that were levelled against him. In the 2019 Newsnight interview with Emily Maitlis, he said that he'd never met Virginia Giuffre, never had sex with her, never danced with her in a nightclub, said that he wasn't able to sweat. The reason why he wasn't with her was that he was at a Pizza Express party with one of his daughters in Woking. He basically denied ever knowing her, tried to provide alibis of where he was at the times when Virginia Giuffre said that they were together. In the 2019 Newsnight interview, Andrew said that he didn't have any contact with Jeffrey Epstein after December 2010. But in the leak of the Epstein files, there pops up an email that Andrew had sent to Epstein in February 2011. In that email, he said, "We'll play again soon." And basically, that proved that there was communication between Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein after the time when he said he'd cut off all contact with him. You know, he took loans from Jeffrey Epstein, from Kazakhstani businessmen, sold properties for over the amount that they were worth so he could use some of that money to pay off his debts. When it comes to Andrew and Sarah Ferguson as well, their finances were always a mess. It was always about them living above their means, and therefore they had to go to pretty dodgy people to make sure they could keep up the standard of living that they were used to. This is a dramatic move on behalf of King Charles III, but there is more that he can do. Andrew is still eighth in line to the throne, and he's also still a councillor of state. So he could remove him from the succession to the throne. He could remove him as a councillor of state. It remains to be seen if that will happen further down the line. I think it shows that Andrew is no longer protected by the royal family. He was deeply protected by Queen Elizabeth II. He was absolutely her favourite. And when it comes to the reign of King Charles, clearly it has been the opposite. King Charles has wanted to get Andrew out of Royal Lodge for a long time, and now he has managed to do it. Also, William definitely has some influence in this as well. He doesn't want to have the Andrew problem when his reign comes to pass. This is definitely not the end of the story because those Epstein files are open and we get a steady drip, drip, drip of information of what is in those files practically every week. There's absolutely more to come. And I think that's part of the reason why the firm took this move to basically excommunicate Andrew from the family, knowing that there's more of this storm to come. This is hugely damaging for the royal family, absolutely. In terms of accountability, what did they know? When did they know it? How are they holding a member of their family to account? Are they even holding a member of their family to account? Why did it take so long for the royal family to act?
Well, I'm not sure of Andrew yet.
The damage was done in how long it took the royal family to act, how long it took them to get Prince Andrew in check. You know, we've been talking about Andrew and Epstein for 20 years. 20 years they had to do something about this, to hold him accountable, to urge him to speak to the authorities about anything he might have seen. Yes, he denies all the allegations against him, but one thing is true, he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein, could have seen things when he was with him, could have definitely have spoken to the authorities, but none of that was pushed and none of that was done. So I don't know that this move is enough to repair the damage that has been done by this whole Andrew problem.
Here at the Natural History Museum is to create advocates for the planet. So it's an honour, Miliband. And the Secretary of State for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs are also delighted to be hosting several ambassadors this evening, including representatives from the
He could face a private prosecution. You know, the Met Police have been looking into whether he prompted one of his personal protection officers to look into Virginia Giuffre using her confidential details. So yes, this is not over for him. The US Congress as well is asking that he should testify before them about what he knew about Jeffrey Epstein. There definitely could be more consequences to come for him.